out of and representing his home of Washington, D.C. His weight, 159 pounds. His record, 33 wins, 2 losses with 22 wins coming by way of knockout. He is currently ranked the WBC #4 middleweight contender who tonight is attempting to regain his title. Here is the former WBC middleweight champion of the world, introducing Keith Holmes. And his opponent across the ring is the defending world champion. On my right, fighting out of the red corner, wearing black trunks, joining us all the way from Lyon, France. He weighed in at a ready 158 pounds with a record of 26 wins, 2 losses and 1 draw. He has 17 wins coming by way of knockout. Tonight he is making the first defense of his title. Here is the defending WBC middleweight champion of the world, introducing Hacine Cherifi. Once again, a referee in charge, Frank Cappuccino, now to give instructions. 12 rounds of boxing in this rematch for the WBC middleweight title.
Keith. Hacine. Good evening, gentlemen. I see both trunks are high. I will call the low blow. Both you understand? I want you to protect yourself at all times. This is a championship bout. I expect you to conduct yourself as a championship. Both of you touch gloves. Let's touch gloves. I leave it with you.
First fight fought at a tremendous pace. Amazing it went the distance, but Holmes seemed surprised and confused. Keith Holmes thought his speed and movement would be enough in the first fight. However, his biggest downfall was probably himself, lack of concentration. The keys to Cherifi's first victory: conditioning, will to win. He just flat out gutted Holmes. Consistently more effective on the inside. He took the fight from Keith Holmes. As simple as that. This is the WBC, so they'll reveal the scores after rounds 4, 8, and naturally 12. Although these are the running scores of the judges, the scores aren't official until they are announced at the end of the fight, sort of like in a horse race. Here we go, round 1 scheduled for 12. Rematch, WBC middleweight title. Cherifi in the black trunks, Holmes in the powder blue. Cherifi intends to do the same thing he did in the first fight. He told us, stay inside, press Holmes, fight close, because Holmes is taller, bigger, has the longer arms, and just out-hustle Holmes.
You know, the effect of those trunks that he's wearing makes him look even longer and bigger and taller. You know, I mean, he looks so tall compared to Cherifi, who's got reasonable sized trunks. Well, that size may change something, but Cherifi whittled him down last time to his size.
You know, right now, Keith Holmes is a little more tentative than I suspected. He knows he has the power to drop Cherifi. He did so in the 9th round in the first fight. Cherifi, though, has to press the fight. You would think that Keith Holmes may want to set him up, catch him coming in, but Cherifi cannot win this going back.
It would behoove Cherifi to get into a street fight with Keith Holmes.
Well, he certainly looks like he's willing to do that. Well, he's got street fight written on his face.
Low blow there by Holmes, being cautioned by Frank Cappuccino.
Those trunks are so high on both guys, it's almost ridiculous.
Cappuccino
break.
Talked about it during the instructions.
When I say break, I want you to break.
Holmes said he feels more lateral movement and more banging inside will be the difference in the rematch. He said he feels great as opposed to the first fight when he said he had the flu.
Well, right now he's not really making Cherifi pay that much as Cherifi charges and leaps in with shots. I think he needs to stuff the jab, establish that, and then fire off it.
Actually, not too much to tell between either fighter right now. Neither one is impressing at all. They're just doing what they got to do to get through this first round, but there's nothing impressive going on.
Cherifi's a feisty guy.
Yep.
He stands up to almost everything that's dished out. He looks older than 31, that's for sure. And he's not concerned about fighting here in Holmes' hometown. He said, hey, it can't be any worse than in England. That's tough, he said.
Yeah, he said the English fans stand by their fighter really, really well.
And he said the other thing is he's got to eat in English restaurants. And that's a terrible drawback for a French fighter.
You always have a way of capturing it.
Yeah. Ooh, nice hook. Did you see that little hook that Holmes just threw?
That's
nice.
right. He's got to make Cherifi pay coming in. Can't let him just walk in.
Was that good?
Get him loose. Get that
now
hands
they get
loose.
nasty
Break.
inside. They're getting a little street nasty. Cappuccino won't take that long. He's a great referee.
One of the best from Cherry Hill, New Jersey. The bell. Our translator, Faustin Sango.
Yes. Pour le moment, t'es un peu loin. Okay?
Stay away from him.
Travaille trop au centre du ring.
Try to stay away from him.
Au centre du ring, pour t'approcher, t'es obligé de prendre des risques.
Don't go too close.
Donc il faut, avant de donner tes coups, essayer
I didn't hear the
essayer de
10-second thing.
Mais
Did
essaye
you
de faire ça
bang it
avec toi.
hard?
Okay?
Cogne fort, cogne. Essaie de cogner. Bang him.
Ne pas se jeter, s'approcher, c'est pas pareil. Okay? À petit pas.
There's a difference between throw yourself and bang him.
All right, let's take a look at Cherifi catching Holmes. He missed just then, and Holmes caught him real good. That was the opposite of what we had said. He got hit. That was the little hook I referred to, Bobby. It was so nice, clean.
Yeah, it was one of the only few punches that Holmes actually did. Cherifi, I think, barely won the round, but he was the effective aggressor and landed a few more shots.
You know, Bobby, I don't like even rounds. I gave that an even round, and I don't like even rounds.
Well, about the flashiest thing you can say about that round may have been Cherifi's ponytail.
Ooh, Holmes settling down on his punches, Bobby.
Well, he meant to do some damage with a couple of those.
Yeah, that was home run kind of swings. Ooh, low blow.
I don't know if that was low, Freddie. I think that was in the
No, it isn't
on
low.
the belt line. I think it was good.
It is good. But I mean, you know, it's below the belt, but the belt's too high.
Cherifi, predominantly a straight-up European style, but what sets him apart from other French fighters, a lot more aggressive, less of a boxer. And he's got a good left hook. There it is, followed up by a right.
Oh, that's
and there's another left hook. Combinations by Cherifi that are scoring.
Keith Holmes had been working a pretty good jab right up until he got hit with that double left hook. Something I found incredible in the corner of Cherifi. As our translator translated, they said stay away from him, don't crowd him. I think he's got the crowd him.
Crowding is when he's doing the most effective work. Cherifi comes in close and crowds. That's where his work is. That's where this fight is.
Come on, come on, come on.
But Cherifi is a fairly good target. And he also, at times, punches wide, as you just saw, leaving himself open.
I'll tell you what he does that I don't like. His legs end up parallel. Like if he gets hit after he throws a few, he's so far out of balance.
He squares off.
Yeah, he squares off. He's going to go right on his dump if he squares off like that in front of Holmes and he gets hit. He doesn't have good control of his legs, no balance.
He's like a wind-up doll, though. He just never stops coming forward, as you can see.
Instead of sliding in, he's walking in, one foot in front of the other, and you cannot do that with a sharp puncher.
All the way
He'll
back.
catch you in that walk, and you'll be sitting down.
Started getting some publicity and scoring points when he lost a close split decision to Englishman Robin Reed prior to Holmes. Everybody thought he was going to get massacred in that fight, but his stock went up. And then the victory over Holmes surprised a lot.
Well, he ain't pretty, but he's effective. I mean, hey, this is fighting. He's not playing a violin.
No.
He's not pretty, but he's getting his punches
no.
on. All right, here's Cappuccino not liking the way they clinch. Jab doing a little bit better than Bobby.
Right now, the jab's working. Keith Holmes using his height and his reach, leaning out of the way. As Cherifi misses, tagging him, making him pay. You have to make a man pay when he misses.
Oh, Holmes with a straight left hand, but it left Cherifi unfazed.
No, but he came back punching like a wind-up doll, like you say, like women boxers, just flailing, and it didn't do anything. Like right there, it didn't do anything for him. He's not hitting anything. All that flailing was nothing.
Holmes that's what Holmes was claiming he did often in the first fight, hitting after the bell. Saying Cherifi is a dirty fighter.
Come on, jab. You gotta get off with your jab. Okay? You're waiting too long. Okay? Slow your movement down just a little bit, but keep your jab in front of you. All right? On the inside, you gotta grip.
All right, let's take a look at this left hook by Cherifi now. As he's getting punched silly by that jab, he comes in with a left hook, which goes way over the head. It really didn't land, and there's the good hook right then. Just then was a good hook. Bobby?
At the end of the round there, you know, it's not, I don't think it was really dirty. I think it was just very close to the bell. You know, it was a little love tap, little kind of, here, take that with you back to the corner, pal.
Yeah, it wasn't hurt, but it you know, not necessary after the bell. I don't think you like it too much to get hit an open shot like that.
After that first fight, Holmes accused Cherifi of hitting after the bell, of lacing him, of hitting below the belt. And Cherifi accused Holmes of dirty tactics as well, particularly below the belt.
I really don't think Cherifi does anything intentional. I think what his style is we call it junk fighter. It's a nice straight left by Keith.
Cherifi walking right into that and smiling.
Boy, Holmes is throwing fire.
Holmes the southpaw, but started out a right-hander. Here are right uppercuts, though, by Cherifi.
Double right uppercut, two beautiful right uppercuts for Holmes. I see it. This is the pace I don't think Keith is prepared to keep for a long fight, and this is what Hacine Cherifi wants.
Holmes came out smoking, but boy, Cherifi put out the fire in a hurry with two hooks. Woo!
Does this look familiar?
Yeah, well, they fought like tigers last time. It looks like we're going to have it again.
The first fight was at a tremendous pace, as I mentioned, and this one is picking off where the first fight left off.
But at least Holmes looks like he's awake in this one. Last time he looked like he was sleepwalking. I mean, you know, here he looks like his mind is fully turned on.
Stop!
Yeah, he was
Stop,
looking
break.
all over the place during that
break.
fight, even at us. And you know he's not going to learn anything there.
Yeah, I found it odd that he did some staring off into space, looked at us, looked around. No one's going to help him.
Yeah, and here is one place where you want maximum concentration in a boxing ring.
And oftentimes when you fight in front of your hometown fans, some might think it's an advantage, but oftentimes to a fighter, and Bobby, you know this, it can be a distraction.
No, it really can, depending on the amount of pressure you put on yourself. And I think it's individual for every fighter. Some will try and do things to impress. Some will go for a knockout to impress and get out of their game plan, and that is just not smart.
Some rise to the occasion, get psyched by the crowd, and others freeze up, get psyched out. Too much pressure. Cherifi just keeps coming forward, battling.
He's working well on the inside, and Keith has not really put any sting on his shots, except for the very early part of the round. Like there, he took 3 shots, not real hard, but no real fire back, one at a time.
That was what they call a shoot shot.
Break. In his corner, Keith Holmes was told, use that jab. Why aren't you using that jab? And that's the first fight, same thing. He didn't use it.
Cherifi's doing exactly what he said he'd do.
And it's got to be a jab that hurts. It can't be just a here I touched your jab. It's got to be a popper, and he's not doing it. So far, not doing it.
There's a little bit of blood on the forehead of Cherifi. I don't know where it came from.
Well, when you have a southpaw and a conventional fighter, heads tend to collide, feet get tangled, and perhaps that's what happened upstairs.
Every once in a while, Holmes changes from lefty to righty. It doesn't help him a bit. I mean, he should stay right where he's at.
More side-to-side movement by Cherifi here in the rematch than we saw in the first fight. Round 3 in the books. Let's go to Andrea Joyce. Andrea?
All right, we're back in the dressing room with Shambe Mitchell. This is an unusual night for you because of the open scoring. You will know exactly where you stand after every single round. How might that affect you in the ring? How might it affect your strategy?
It's not going to strike my. It's not going to, make any difference anyway, because I don't expect to use the judges tonight.
All right, you were not totally dominant in your first title defense back in February. You hurt both hands. What will be different tonight?
Working on speed and throwing everything from my shoulder. I'm in much better shape this time. So.
Okay,
we'll see.
best of luck. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Andrea. Mitchell will be fighting a puncher.
All right, I think there's a butt in here. We're going to try to find it if we can. I mean, all 3 of us missed it. I mean, because I didn't see that. And there's a little blood on the forehead. Yeah, they did meet. A little blood on the forehead. I don't see any big cut or anything right now. So.
Round 4, the cut opening above Cherifi's right eye in round 3 doesn't appear to have caused him any problems thus far. as he comes roaring back in.
You know, Bobby, it's like a fighter who knows how to fight very well trying to put some order on a really rough junkyard fighter. He
Well,
can't
that's just it.
get him down. He can't get him.
Break. Stop.
They have fighters like this every once in a while. They call him a junk fighter because he throws things from so many angles, and it's just incredible.
The online scores on the internet have Cherifi up 2 rounds to 1.
I agree with him, Steve. But none of us are official.
I have this exactly even because I gave the first round even, and then they divided. So
Stop.
close.
Stop. Break.
Here in the WBC, the fans in the arena will get to know the score after round 4. But that is not official as well. It's official after round 12. WBA, the only sanctioning body who will reveal scores after every round. We'll get that with the Mitchell Green fight.
When you fight a guy who doesn't punch from an orthodox stance and throws from unorthodox angles and awkward walking this way and that way and under and over, you can't have a stereotypical counter. You can't set up your counters evenly. You have to just fire from where you are. It makes it difficult to adjust sometimes.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say at the beginning. To impose order on this, you can't. This guy's not coming from all angles, so you got to just fight like he fights. Whenever he comes in from all angles, fire. I just can't understand why that jab isn't hard on the part of Holmes. He's landing, he's got long arms.
I completely agree, Freddie. He needs to stuff that once in a while. Make him pay. Get his head up near, take it off with the left hand.
Boom. Nice body work.
See, but when they stay that close, he has a hard time being too effective. There he lands a few steps around, but he lets Cherifi unload on the inside afterward.
Well, this guy should step back and let it fly. Holmes should step back and let it fly. What a good combination of rips as he stands back.
Keith Holmes continues to be confounded, confused by this French fighter.
Now you see, what Bobby said at the top of the show is happening right now. As Cherifi gets close, that's his fight. He doesn't want to get out. That's where he wants to be. And the other guy's letting him. So your keys to victory are exactly happening for Cherifi right now. He's getting in close, and the other guy's letting him.
Now there, Keith Holmes made him pay to come in. That's what he has to do a little more regularly.
And that was the other key. Stand back and get some distance and let fire. So in one little instance, you saw both your keys come true.
And that is the end of the 4th round. The scores forthcoming.
Come on, man. We got to get going. We got to get going, man. No. You ready now. When you're ready, you got to move. Good and loose. Okay? Ready now. Now start working with that straight left hand and coming back with that right hook. Okay? You hear me? All right. Get the jab right there in front of him now. Keep the jab in front of him. Okay? You got to work the body just a little bit more once you get on the inside. Get on the outside.
Get lazy.
Don't get lazy, okay?
Hold on.
You're using his head all the time, bro. All right.
Give me a little grease.
Let me take care of the ring.
Yeah.
You guys take care of the ring.
Okay. All right, man. All right.
You can hear the complaints raging from the Keith Holmes corner that Hacine Cherifi is using his head, headbutting him. Dave Jacobs, longtime trainer in the Sugar Ray Leonard corner. Claude Bozier also over there. So here we go into round number 5. They're announcing the scores to the crowd, and we'll pass it on to you momentarily as soon as we have it tabulated. But you can hear by the reaction who's ahead.
I predict there's going to be a split here in those scores. This is very close. This is a very close fight. You can see it either way.
Holmes said he needed more side to side and more banging inside to make the difference between the first and the second fight. Lost the first fight by unanimous decision.
Holmes hesitated far too much. You can see him set, step back, hesitate, set, hesitate.
Knock that off there, man.
There he let it fly. He missed, but he let it fly. At least there he let it fly again.
It's almost the same Holmes we saw in the first fight, with the exception that he has more energy.
More determination. He has some kind of a plan. I mean, he's trying. But in the other fight, he was reacting.
Stop. Break.
as he is, Holmes, and when he puts his foot forward and leans back, it's awfully hard for a short guy to come in and punch him. Yet Cherifi's able to move in because Holmes is not firing the jab and not stuffing him as he comes in.
All right, let me give you the scores through 4. Judge A has it 40-36 for Holmes.
Break.
Judge B has it 39-37 for Holmes. But how about this? Judge C has it 39-37 for Cherifi. So
even though the rounds were pretty close, I could see 39-37 swings one way and another off of it being even, which I have at 38-38.
A major difference in opinion there. Our viewers at home largely agreed with Judge C, with Cherifi ahead.
Well, let's get back to the fact that this is heating up. Cherifi keeps coming, and Holmes, although he's getting away, thinks should be fighting like that and counter punching and landing just like that.
Break.
Holmes ate some leather in that exchange.
Watch your gopper.
Watch your head.
What you got?
Frank Cappuccino showing he's bilingual.
What about
you spoken Italian?
I know. Wrong language, but good try, Frank.
Watch your cappuccino. Another tough round to score with Cherifi coming on.
The infighting continues. All right, following the 4th round, this was the round-by-round tabulation. Again, no names attached to the scores, but you saw Judge A and B going Holmes' way, and Cherifi favored by Judge C.
You know, Judge C, you see Judge C. Judge C has clearly got the first 3 one way. Judge A, shutout. You know, Judge A just doesn't see Cherifi doing anything. I would think it would be impossible to not give Cherifi at least 2 of those rounds.
B and C are exactly the opposite.
You know what? That's too complicated to worry about.
B and C is one round flip, which is not a big deal in one of the close rounds. But Judge A not giving any credit at all to Cherifi, I find that to be hard.
Hard to accept.
2 points one way and 4 points another way. 6 different.
There's the cut. There's the cut on it. You see the cut on his brow? That's more important than the score right now, because we got a fight going on here, and this is up for the taking.
This is round 6, scheduled for 12 for the WBC middleweight title. Hacine Cherifi comes into Keith Holmes' house to try and retain the belt.
Remember something, Cherifi's been pressing the entire fight, although he's not won every round. You have to be an effective aggressor. In the rounds that he's effective, he gets those rounds when he's winning, landing the punches and outscoring Holmes. The rounds he's coming forward and getting beat, clearly they're Holmes rounds. But there's only one aggressor in this fight right now. So you know that has to lead somewhere.
Well, hopefully to close out the discussion, I got it 39-38, which is very close. And after the 5th round, 48-48. So to me, we're looking at an even fight. Let's go back and watch fights.
Holmes opening up a bit, bouncing right hooks off the head of Cherifi, who holds on.
I think one of those shots in the ear of the temple shook Cherifi a little bit.
Yeah, he held on. He definitely held on. He didn't look to break.
It rattled him.
Well, something better, because Holmes just keeps putting these shots in, and Cherifi keeps coming.
Now Holmes extending the jab, which is good strategy. Try to set up the big left, but Holmes with a good right as well, as we've seen before in the past. Looked so good when he beat Quincy Taylor for the WBC middleweight title a few years ago. Crowd getting behind Holmes.
Nice shot right to the sternum, right to the breastplate. Bow. That'll shake your lungs up a little bit.
Oh, Cherifi felt the effects of that one. Holmes going to the body and to the jaw. Holmes scoring nicely here in the 6th round.
But Cherifi coming in with inside uppercuts is just moving the head back of Holmes, so he's getting hit. There you go, insider by Cherifi.
This guy's like an old-fashioned fighter.
He just keeps the momentum going, and what Keith Holmes has to do, sit on him, wait for him to leap with one of those shots and time him. Nice left hook right there by Cherifi. See, Keith Holmes thinks that Cherifi's going to stop after 1, 2, or 3, and this guy throws 4, 5, 6, maybe even 7. Not hard, but they're there.
And they land. Some of them.
Cherifi is in such excellent condition. You can just see it.
In the first fight, I questioned if he'd be able to hold the pace, and sure enough, he held it, so I have no reason to question it now. But again, it's a big, big pace.
Final 20 seconds of the 6th as the pace quickens again, and Cherifi doing most of the action. But back comes Holmes, and back comes Cherifi with a right cross.
Cherifi's the aggressor. He's pushing, he's punching, he's coming. I mean, hard to judge these rounds. Boy, he is tough.
Let's go inside the ropes with Bobby Ches. Get some insight into what's going on here.
Well, here's a terrific look of how Hacine Cherifi keeps this gap not only closed, but zeroed out. He gets inside on Keith Holmes, and he works here. He blocks his shot, he stuffs an uppercut, another one. He steps forward again. Keith Holmes trying to get away, move out more from the other side. Inside, stuffing the punches, not letting Keith Holmes get any power, and firing 2, 3, 4 shots. Covering up, again, up the middle, around the shots, 2, 3, walking Keith Holmes backward, getting in with his punches, being an effective aggressor.
Faustin Sango, our interpreter.
Go ahead, go ahead. Go after him, chase him. Don't throw yourself on him. Go after him. There's a difference between.
And Cherifi said, would you mind defining the difference between that? I missed that in gym class. Throw yourself at him and go at him.
Jean-Marc Perrineau in the corner of Hacine Cherifi, who also manages and trains the cruiserweight champ Fabrice Tiozo. Another Frenchman who beat an American for the title, beat Nate Miller. The home viewers see it this way, very close.
Well, that's exactly how I got it, very close.
I have it also very close. I have a slight edge of Cherifi, but
I do too, 58 to 57.
He's out hustling him, he's just outworking him, and he's outscoring him. And that has to be something said for that.
Bobby, if the fans at home are listening to you and listen to your definition of an aggressive fighter, that's what you see here. He's aggressive, but he's landing. Aggressive and not landing, you're not getting the points. This guy's aggressive and landing, you got to give him the points.
No, clearly, because he's aggressive every round. He doesn't win every round, because some rounds he gets beat to the punch, he gets counted on. But here he's walking in and he's slamming, blocking where he has to, but still working.
Cherifi's so busy. Look how many punches he's throwing. It's non-stop, no let-up, relentless. He's got to be tiring Holmes out.
Well, Holmes is starting to look bewildered, like he did in France. Like, wait a minute, when's this guy going to stop this so I can start fighting? He's only reacting, and badly. He's not reacting as fast as Cherifi's putting those punches in.
Past the halfway point of this championship fight.
See, there are 2 clean shots, a left and a right, and Cherifi threw 4 more after that without a response back from Keith Holmes. 4 more shots after the double that landed.
Well, he better think of something to do rather than let this guy stay in close to him. Back up, jab, move, show him some motion.
Nice right hook by Keith. Looked like he was trying to set that one up. Another one, he unloaded. He hurt Cherifi.
Holmes coming back. Right hooks.
He hurt him.
Cherifi's in trouble. Smothering. Cherifi. Keith Holmes with the barrage.
That's it.
It's all over. Just like that. Cherifi protests, and Keith Holmes dives to the canvas in celebration.
I think this stoppage was premature. There wasn't too much being offered in the way of punches from Cherifi, but the punches hitting him were not that clean. I think it's a little premature. Another 10 or 15 seconds could have been very definitive.
Well, Bobby, you know, I'm for every premature, but you know what? I agree with you. I do not think that was exactly right.
He didn't show signs of being that hurt.
He still had combat in him. He wasn't getting hit that much.
His legs were under him. His head was not snapping back wildly.
Well,
that was a little premature.
Let me say, I don't care what the final result would be, because I think the final result would be he's on the way to get knocked out. But still, he deserves the chance for the championship. He deserves the chance to go.
And if there was a standing 8 count, that probably would have happened, but there's no standing 8 count in this fight. WBC rules, unified rules for that matter. And you can see as Hacine Cherifi paces around, he is very bitter at that stoppage. And he may have reason to be.
Well,
questionable.
Yeah, I mean, I'm certainly one of the leading exposed to stop it early, but this is not stop it. This is stop it a little too early, a little bit. He would have ended up out on his back, I think.
So it ends here in round 7, a technical knockout for the once and new champion, Keith Holmes, who reclaims the title.
You know, even after the fight was stopped, immediately Cherifi reacted and said, "What? What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm okay." Sure, he was dazed, sure he was hurt, but I don't believe he was on the verge of serious injury.
He was holding his hands up. His legs were under him.
His legs were under him, and I think it was a premature stoppage, but I'm not the referee. It wasn't my call, and I couldn't see his eyes from here.
I'll tell you what, I wouldn't mind seeing a rematch. I mean, they fought two times. One went one way, one went the other. That's a darn good fight. That was even.
Hey, can we go back? Can we go back to Paris to do it?
That's what I was thinking. I was just thinking that. All right, let's take a look at it. So see if Bobby and I were right. And all right, now he gets hit here. The first one on the high up on the temple. I don't think that doesn't work. As they're brawling, the punches start coming. There's the hooker. That's a good hook. Now, he is in a little bit of trouble. That's a great punch. Right hand punch there. That's a great punch. Another right hand punch there. Left hand. No, it's right hand punch.
His other right.
And yeah, he is getting hit. Now, here's where it looks like he is falling back. But he continues to have his feet under him. He's swaying. He's got back and forth. He's got his arms out. But the problem was that he's not punching, and that's where Cappuccino can base the thing. Unanswered punches. Goodbye. And he's gone. It's very, very close. I mean, you know.
Yeah, clearly, as we take another look at it, unanswered punches was probably the factor.
That's a factor. And
Keith Holmes hurts him right there with that right hand to the temple. Nice right hook, the same punch that dropped him back in Paris or in Lyon, whichever it was in France. And he is wobbly. He is dazed. He tries to at least cover himself, but he doesn't offer up any offense. He doesn't offer up anything but a passive type defense.
I for one would like to get one little thing in. Wherever that question of judge was concerned with Frank Cappuccino, I'll take Frank Cappuccino's opinion because he's in there next to the fighter. We're not. So I'll go with Frank Cappuccino. I withdraw my objection. It's okay.
So you're changing your
I am. I just looking at it on TV, I changed it. You can see it. He didn't answer no unanswered punches. Unanswered punches.
28 we counted. 28 unanswered
But of the 28,
punches.
I would venture to guess no more than 8 landed. That's my contention. That's where I still hold my minor objection. Frank Cappuccino, an excellent referee.
Any event, a very controversial conclusion. Let's get the call from Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 2 minutes, 13 seconds of round number 7. Our referee in charge, Frank Cappuccino, stops the contest. The winner by way of technical knockout. He is the new WBC middleweight champion of the world, Keith Holmes.
Well, the judges were not in complete agreement on this bout in any round, as Keith Holmes is the 14th middleweight champion to regain the title. Now in a group includes Sugar Ray Robinson, Tony Zale, Gene Fulmer, Dick Tiger, Emil Griffith, and his arch rival, William Joppy. He returns to the throne, able to avenge his loss to Hacine Cherifi. Does it here in his own backyard, and turnabout is fair play since he lost the belt in Cherifi's home of Lyon, France. Now 34-2 with 23 knockouts. Cherifi drops to 26-3-1. Holmes' victory certainly generates renewed interest in a possible showdown with Joppy and perhaps a fight with Bernard Hopkins. Coming up next, our main event, the WBA Super Lightweight Championship. Hometown hero Shambe Mitchell puts his title on the line as he faces another local product, Reggie Green. We'll go backstage live into the dressing room of Reggie Green from nearby Clinton, Maryland, rated number 3. He's a good puncher. Comes off a victory the day before Shambe Mitchell had his difficult fight with Pedro Saiz, and very smartly, Reggie Green sparred with Saiz in preparation for this fight. Standing by in the ring is Andrea Joyce. Andrea.
All right, Keith, congratulations. How different of a fighter were you tonight compared to that night back in May in France?
Well, first of all, let me thank God, the creator of heaven and earth, and all my brothers and sisters in Dimona, Israel. I was different tonight because I had my energy going over to France on only a 5 to 6 day notice. I mean, well, it wasn't notice, but that's the only time I had over there. I really didn't get acclimated, had a lot of jet lag. And I want to thank Don King for giving it back to me, giving me the opportunity to win it again. He's a great promoter. I don't care what y'all say, he gives a brother a chance.
Beyond the physical problems that you had in May, though, what did you learn from that first fight that helped you tonight?
That it taught me that I'm a great boxer and great puncher, and to always be prepared for any fight, wherever I go, any place in the world, I'm gonna be prepared the next time.
Keith, we're going to show you the end of the fight. Here is when the fight stopped. Take us through it.
Well, first of all, I caught him with a good shot and then shook him up. I knew the combinations was getting to him, and he was throwing a lot of shots, but it wouldn't bother me. I was really trying to...
He didn't confuse you at all?
Nah, because I fought him before, and he told a lot of people on the radio, it's the same Hacine Cherifi from France. So I said, oh, okay, I'm not the same Keith Holmes. You know, I got my energy, I got my brothers and sisters and wife behind me. I got a newborn on the way. It's on. It's on.
What about the future now? Any thoughts about unifying the title, Bernard Hopkins?
Well, the man is right here, Mr. Don King. You know, whatever he say, he bring it to the table. You know, money talk, bull crap walk. And I'm not bull crap.
All right, congratulations again.
We're not going to Disney World. We're going to Dimona, Israel, Africa.
All right, we're going to bring in Cherifi, Hacine Cherifi right now, with the help of an interpreter. The judges were not unanimous in their scoring on this one. Did you feel like you were doing enough to win this fight?
Elle dit que les juges n'étaient pas, c'était pas une décision unanime. Elle demande, est-ce que tu as fait le maximum pour gagner ce combat?
J'ai fait le maximum, mais l'arbitre a été gentil avec Holmes. Il a arrêté le combat. J'ai pris un coup, mais j'étais pas sonné.
It's true that I took some shots, but I believe the referee was very kind with Keith.
What about the stoppage? His thoughts on that? Did he think it was stopped too early? That's what it looked like he thought.
Elle demande, qu'est-ce que tu penses de l'arrêt du combat? Est-ce que c'était prématuré?
L'arbitre a été gentil, a arrêté trop vite. Normalement, je suis pas tombé, il a pas arrêté. J'étais pas en difficulté, j'ai pris un coup, mais j'étais pas en difficulté, je pouvais continuer le combat.
I believe the referee was very kind with Keith. He didn't count me. I didn't fail. I don't understand why he stopped the fight. It's true that I took a shot, but I don't understand why they stopped the fight because I was still in shape.
Does he feel like he deserves a rematch?
Est-ce que tu penses que tu mérites un combat, un troisième combat?
Je vais offrir un deuxième combat à Holmes. J'espère qu'il va m'offrir un troisième combat et sans problème. Et s'il veut à la maison, je le fais chez lui.
I offer him a chance to fight a second time. I hope he will be very kind to let me fight him at my hometown only. Also. Donc il dit que donc il m'a accepté. Il dit que c'est vrai. Qui a combat? Qui a troisième match? Tu as demandé pour le combat, donc il dit que tu as demandé, tu mérites, tout le public américain accepte, ils ont vu, ils acceptent, et les juges, non, tous les juges n'étaient pas d'accord pour la décision d'arrêt.
You can wait until after the baby is born.
Ok, d'attendre un peu encore. You have to wait a little bit again?
Okay, thank you so much. Let's take it back now to Steve.
All right, thank you very much, Andrea. If ever a fight deserved